I think evaluations are sort of like the secret weapon of Toastmasters. Why Toastmasters works so well is we have evaluations. So you don't just give a speech and say, thanks, bye bye. You get evaluated. And I believe that YouTube is, in a weird way, one of the best evaluators you can get. Because by the way, it's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy and no, hey, this is a piece of cake for everyone. Because most people, even speakers, even Toastmasters, they don't like seeing themselves on camera or they don't like seeing themselves speak because they see all their mistakes and say, oh my God, do I really like pick in my ear so often? Do I rub my eye all the time? And so YouTube is a mirror. And for better or worse, I think it's the best evaluator that we have. This is Bradley Charbonneau. I'm hosting interviews of the workshop leaders for the upcoming Metz conference, the Toastmasters District 59 conference, May 15th to 17th, 2026, down in northern France. And usually I'm the one interviewing the the workshop leaders. But today, Arjan Gerritson has agreed to interview me for my workshop because I am one of the workshop leaders in France. And so I'm going to turn over the mic to Arjan and let him interview me about my workshop in France. So thanks for doing this, Arjan.
You're welcome, Bradley. Well, it's interesting because Bradley, you're also a workshop leader. So you not only
Yeah.
this series, so you're really walking your talk by recording the series and
Right,
doing this
right.
project. And you're really showing and exemplifying what your workshop is all about. So what is your
Yeah.
workshop all about, Bradley?
So my workshop it's YouTube for speakers, which of course is again not coincidental that I'm going to be publishing this on YouTube. And I should add that my workshop will be in Dutch. And so the workshop title is YouTube for Sprekers, YouTube for Speakers. And it's interesting because it's about YouTube, but it's not really about YouTube in the sense of what you might think of YouTube. And so
So
it's
could you guide us through what speakers really need to understand about YouTube and what changes it into their speeches?
yeah. So the reason I'm doing this workshop is I think without giving away too much of my talk, it came to me very clearly once. There are three different settings on a YouTube video. There's private, unlisted, and public. And I think this sort of solidifies or clarifies the speaker's perspective on publicity. So just briefly, private, only you see it, right? And if you have to share it with like an email address. So that would be an example of a talk that is only for you. You don't want anybody in the whole world to see it. So this is good for your own practice of you getting in front of the camera. The second option is unlisted. Unlisted is you need a link, but that link can be shared, and only that group that has the link can see it. So this would be an example of I want to share it with my Toastmasters group, or I want to share it with the topic of the conversation. And so I can control who sees it. And that's also good practice for that audience. And then finally, there's public, which is open to the entire planet. And that's just a different level of confidence, of course.
So what was there a moment when you realized speakers really needed it? This, your workshop.
I this came when so if you're watching this, maybe you're a Toastmaster. If you're a Toastmaster, then you know how important evaluations are. And I think evaluations are sort of like the secret weapon of Toastmasters. Why Toastmasters works so well is we have evaluations. So you don't just give a speech and say, thanks, bye bye. You get evaluated. And I believe that YouTube is, in a weird way, one of the best evaluators you can get. Because by the way, it's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy and no, hey, this is a piece of cake for everyone. Because most people, even speakers, even Toastmasters, they don't like seeing themselves on camera, or they don't like seeing themselves speak because they see all their mistakes and say, oh my God, do I really like pick in my ear so often? Do I rub my eye all the time? And so YouTube is a mirror. And for better or worse, I think it's the best evaluator that we have.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely can relate that people struggle a lot of times to even have a camera on them and tell us
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
even though they are Toastmasters, which always
Yeah.
surprises me actually. Even the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
seasoned Toastmasters can sometimes have that.
Yes. Yeah. They do. For
So
sure.
is there one thing in your workshop that you can get people over that point?
Yes. So YouTube has kind of like Toastmasters, full on videos, 1 minute or 3 hours or whatever. And then it also has shorts. And my challenge, even to Toastmasters who are supposed to be, not too scared of going up on stage, my challenge is to record a 15-second short of yourself. And again, put it on private. You don't have to share it with the whole world, but the practice of that and do it. If you want my real challenge, it's do that every day for a month, a
Mm.
short 15 seconds every day for 1 month. And I can almost guarantee you it will improve your speaking abilities.
So what would I get out of that?
The big answer is confidence. Because through practice, if you do 15 seconds every day, and then you're called up on table topics at your Toastmasters meeting, for example, you say, well, I've been doing this every day for 30 days. I got this. Or if you advance more and you're doing more YouTube recordings, and again, put it on private. Put it on private. It's fine. But the practice of having a camera, I'm on camera, and then as painful as it is, watch your recording and you'll learn from it and you'll become a better speaker.
Is that the biggest takeaway that people get from your workshop, building the confidence by doing the challenge or even do the mini challenge?
I think so. The word confidence is an interesting one because it's hard to measure. How do you measure? Like if easy to measure is money. I have 10 euros, I have 12 euros. 12 euros is more than 10 euros. But if I say, oh, I have more confidence, well, how do you measure that? And so my goal for you at the end of the workshop is that you have confidence, more confidence, so that I can now blank.
Hmm.
So I want you to be able to measure the confidence. Before, I was too scared or self conscious to talk in front of my team at work or have a mini presentation for my fellow students at school or stand up at Toastmasters. And now, after the workshop and after maybe doing the 30-day challenge, I have confidence so that I can do XYZ. That's what I want you to walk away with.
Yeah, so I think confidence is trust within yourself. So
Yeah.
trust within yourself leads usually to saying yes to bigger opportunities in life
Yeah. Yeah. There you
and
go.
going there. But also for me, it's about congruence that you really put behind your message, your soul and your voice, but also your emotions behind what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So what is one idea of technique people can try immediately? Is it a video or would you recommend something else from YouTube?
The simplest is the 15 second. The if you want to, I I talk about evaluations a lot. And here's a fun thing you can do immediately. Record yourself in 15 seconds. Ideally, you're in the camera. And then there's a couple steps you can do. Number one is you can press play and turn the phone over. So all you do is you hear your voice. You don't see anything. That's number one. Number two is you turn the sound off and you just watch your 15 seconds. You watch your body language. And then number three is to turn on the volume and look at it and to see the full package of your mini 15-second presentation. So that would be my quick trifecta, little 3-step process to improve your speaking by turning off the screen and then turning off the volume and then looking at both.
So it's interesting that you talk about YouTube and how you can leverage it from different vantage points.
Yeah.
But why should a Toastmaster definitely come to your workshop, and who is it for? Or who should stay away?
I did a version of this workshop in Las Vegas at the largest writer conference in the world. And I had hundreds of people in the room record a 15-second video live and most of them said they had never done such a thing. And most of them said they were scared to death. And remember, those are writers. Toastmasters, they're speakers. They should not be as scared of this. And still, people are still scared. I mean, I'm not scared anymore because I record shorts every single day. So I challenge you to come to my workshop and get out of your comfort zone. And we're going to record a 15-second video live, not live like it's public to the world, but we're going to record an actual video so that you can then know the process and you have already done it one time. And am I guaranteeing that it's going to be fantastic? No. In fact, I can probably guarantee it's going to be terrible. And that's perfectly okay because another benefit of the workshop is getting over yourself, getting over your perfect, amazing, perfect presenting self and learn how to, bomb and fail and do a terrible job and then watch it and improve. That's my goal.
So do you have also practical steps or techniques that you get people over their fear of recording or working
Yeah.
with YouTube?
Yes. And one of them, the biggest one is accountability. So, and that's what we're going to do live in Metz in France on May 15th and 16th and 17th, live in person together with a bunch of other people who are doing exactly the same thing. Because then your mind thinks, well, if everybody in this room is doing it, I guess I could do it. Right? I'm not publishing it live to YouTube or anything. I'm just going to do this one little thing and and then my little secret hope is that you share it with a neighbor. Okay, I don't want to give away big secrets, but I'm going to get you out of your comfort zone. I want you to be a little scared. I want you to, I was going to say worry. I want you to worry about the workshop, but I want you to sleep well at night, but I'm going to scare you a little bit. And I think that's where we really learn. That's where we really get better. It's when we get over our fears and just do it anyway.
Yeah, for me, it's one of the proudest moments when I felt the fear and did it anyways.
Yeah.
I knew that I grew out of it, or at least I
Yeah.
faced it. And then sometimes it's perfectly imperfect.
Yeah. Ooh, perfectly imperfect. You just said I had the fear and I did it anyway. I think that's like one of the definitions of courage.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I like that. That's great. Courage. Courage. That's good. Another good word.
Yeah, is there one thing about this topic that people might be surprised by?
So one of the questions I get is, why don't I just record it on my phone? What's the difference? I have a phone, I have a camera, I have a microphone. I can do this on my phone. And in my humble opinion, I think the idea of putting it on YouTube, the idea that with one little switch, you can go from private to unlisted and one more switch from unlisted to public. I think there's this psychological jump that you have to take that's different from I just have it on my phone. But I just have it on my phone, nobody knows. So I think that those three, the private, unlisted, and public, I think that's this sort of my little secret recipe, if you will, of YouTube and how for speakers. By the way, this is not a conference about how to be a YouTuber, how to be an influencer, how to do better videos or whatever. Nope. It's a practice tool that is just a little different from just your own phone. And those three elements, those three status of the video, I think that makes the big difference.
So what do you want how can people use this tool and leverage this for their own speaking?
For their own speaking, it's again levels of confidence. And I see the levels of confidence, and again, I'm back to private, unlisted, public. And so when you get to unlisted and share it with maybe a group that you didn't previously dare share something like this with, that's already a big jump in confidence. So that's where I want to get you to. I'd like to get you to unlisted and then share something you did. Right now, from this conference back in November, I'm still getting emails and comments saying, hey, I just did the 30-day challenge. I walked and took little videos of flowers in the forest. Great. It doesn't matter even what you're doing. It's more about the practice. My goal is for you to get into practice of creating video. And ideally with you as a speaker, ideally it's you speaking in the video. Maybe not even the camera, right? Take a picture, do the video of flowers. That's fine. Doesn't have to be your face, because I know that's also a thing, right? You on camera is a big deal. So again, I'm back to confidence. I want you to build confidence so that you can then blank.
And what is one sentence you want to leave people with?
That YouTube isn't about YouTube.
Well,
It's for
that
you.
sounds an interesting teaser. I think we should leave it at that. YouTube
Okay.
isn't about YouTube. I'm gonna
there you go.
hand back the microphone to you, Bradley.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Arjan. That was great. And it's interesting because you're putting me on the spot, and I have to come up with, of course, little sound bites about my own talk, and that's good. So that's a good example of walking the talk. Because here I am. We're going to publish this on YouTube, and are we going to edit it 5,000 times? Did we rehearse 14 times? No, we did the job we have right now, and we're going to publish it on YouTube. And by the way, it's going to be public. And could it be better? Of course. But that's also part of it. It's just putting it. This is the best job that we can do today. Right?
Sure.
If I want to spend 40 hours editing, that's one thing. I don't have 40 hours to edit. So this is the best job we can do today. And then if we do another recording in 6 months, ideally it's better. But you won't be able to compare if we didn't hit record that first time.
For sure.
So that's sort of there's another one of my takeaways. So thank you, Arjan. Thank you for turning the tables and taking over the mic and interviewing me for the Metz Conference District 59 in Metz, France on May 15th to 17th, 2026. And Arjan and I will both be there. You can watch another video of me interviewing Arjan about his upcoming workshop, Storytelling with Impact, and the Dutch title is
Verhalen met impact vertellen.
Verhalen met impact vertellen. That's going to be Arjan's talk in Metz. So I hope to see you if you're watching. Hope to see you if you're in District 59, or if you're not in District 59. I don't know. Do you have to be a Toastmaster to come to the conference? I think so. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't even know. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, if you are so inspired by our talk here that you join Toastmasters, then you are welcome to come to France in the middle of May 2026. So I hope to see you there. Arjan and I will be there. Thanks for watching. And check out the rest of the interviews in this series. They will be here in this playlist. All right. Bye for now. Thanks, Arjan.